Kgari, also known as Fraser Island in Queensland, Australia, a destination for adventure seekers looking to explore a rugged, wild landscape full of rainforest, beaches, and wild dingoes. In this video, I share my experience of doing 3 different tours on Kgari to help you plan your trip. If you're new around here, hi, I'm Dane. I moved to Australia last year on a working holiday visa. If you're looking to move here, if you need some advice, inspiration, or you're just looking for the best places to visit in Australia, make sure you click subscribe down below to see all my future videos. In today's video, I'm going to be talking you through a few different options if you're looking to explore Kgari, previously known as Fraser Island. My first visit to Fraser Island was back in 2020 when I was backpacking the east coast of Australia. Now for me, it was one of my favorite and most memorable travel experiences. Having such an amazing experience on Fraser Island, I decided, hey, I want to go back. So that's exactly what I did. I'm going to talk you through a few different travel options because there's so many if you want to visit Fraser Island. Now, firstly, you can't just visit with a normal car. You need to go with a 4x4. Fraser Island, or Kgari, is the largest sand island in the world. So whilst you can go on your own if you've got your own 4x4, you can even hire your own 4x4 to go on a self-guided tour. There are so many tours that make it so easy to visit this island. I love it if you guys watch till the end of the video and then let me know down in the comments below which tour would you pick. What I'm going to do is show you the 2 tours that I did through a vlog style video. At the end of the video, I'm going to share with you a snippet of what happened on my tag-along tour back in 2020. Hopefully you can use this video as a guide to plan your trip to Hervey Bay or Noosa, which are the most common stop-off areas if you're looking to visit Fraser Island. Before you even step on that plane, are you covered in the event that you get sick or you need some urgent medical care? Let me introduce you to the partner of today's video, Safetywing. Safetywing has been my go-to travel medical insurance since leaving the UK in 2021. Jesus, that was a long time ago. Safetywing enabled me to have peace of mind that whilst I'm traveling and digital nomading and country hopping and living in Australia, that I am covered if anything happens. If you guys know me, I'm clumsy. I need to make sure I'm covered, and so do you. If you're a digital nomad or looking for coverage for your epic trip, these guys have your back. With Safetywing, you are covered for global travel outside your home country. I love that I can purchase this on the road and it works on a subscription basis. For as little as $1.60 per day, you can have peace of mind that you can travel to your heart's content knowing that if you get injured or something happens, maybe an airline loses your luggage, these guys have got your back. If you want to find out more about Safetywing, I will leave a link in the description box below. So thank you to Safetywing for partnering with the channel. Now, let's get back to the adventure. So the ferry over was about 45 minutes. This is very different to the last tour that I did a few years ago when I was in the tag-along cars, but I'm excited because it looks very eerie, like there's just loads of clouds over the island. So we're gonna go find our bus and get this tour started. Because this island is a massive sand island, you can't come on this island with a traditional car. You need a 4x4, which is why this bus is so big. This tour is the Kgari Explorer Tour, which cost $259 for the full day. This includes hotel pickup from Hervey Bay, food, and all the activities. The only downside to the tour at this point is that the bus is so big. In fact, the driver even told me the bus can accommodate 48 people. I suffer from travel sickness and the tracks on the island are mental. So because the bus was so big, it felt like it was flying everywhere. You can kind of see it from this footage. The weather on this day also wasn't great, so it did kind of impact the tour a little bit as it didn't look as beautiful as I remember. So the first stop of the day is Lake Mackenzie, which has been voted one of the best beaches in Queensland like previous years. Also, I was saying it all wrong. So it's not Kgari. The K is silent, it's Kgari Island. This is Lake Mackenzie. It looks exactly the same as when I came here last time because it was raining last time I came here and it's kind of raining today. But it is not that cold, like it's winter in Australia right now. And we're in Queensland, so it's about 20 degrees. I mean, it's definitely going to be cold getting out, but I can't come here and not get in the water. For obvious reasons, I've switched over to the GoPro. Lake Mackenzie, let's go. Lake Mackenzie is set 100 meters, maybe even more above sea level. Oh, it's kind of cold actually. I need to just jump in. But the cool thing about this lake is that it's completely natural and all the water comes from rain. Matt is like stood on the side of the beach, like he's just not getting in. Come on. This is what Fraser Island looks like in the rain. This is not how I expected my second time at Fraser Island to go. Obviously it is so beautiful here. The water is crystal blue, but I would like some sunshine. That would be amazing. After spending some time at Lake Mackenzie, we hopped back on the bus to look around Central Station. One of the reasons kgari is so special is because it's the only place in the world where a rainforest meets the sand. You'll see more in the video, but the landscape here is so rugged and wild, which makes it even more beautiful. So, if you remember the last video, you'll remember this. This is the Mahino shipwreck. We've had a bit of lunch, driven down 75 Mile Beach, and this is a shipwreck that has been here for like 85 years. It's a long old time. I think the last time I was here, we couldn't actually even get as close as to touch it because the waves were so insane because it was raining so much. I think as a traveler, it's really important to try out different experiences. So this tour that I'm on today, they have space for 48 people on that big blue bus. I feel like I'm not enjoying it as much as I thought I would, and I think that's because I like to have generally places to myself. As you can see behind me, there's 2 tour buses. There's a lot of people around this shipwreck, and the weather's not been that great. Just being totally transparent with you guys, you know, travel isn't always rainbows and sunshines. It has rained most of the day. I've really struggled to get content today, but I'm also so grateful that I'm here. Also, our Aussie tour guide, Wayne, he's pretty funny. So this is the final spot of the day, I want to say. It's called Eli Creek. Really beautiful. I think when I came here last time, we had little rings and we just gently went down the creek. So this is it. This is Eli Creek. See how cold the water is? Not too bad. This is probably the most peaceful part of the whole tour. Just taking my t-shirt off because I feel like I look like a crazy person. But this is Eli Creek. This was probably my favorite part of my kgari island tour when I came here back in 2020 when I looked completely different. That was it for the Kgari Explorer Tour. We saw all the top spots, but it's time to say goodbye to the rain and fog and hello sunshine. Good morning guys, from the second tour that we're doing on this Hervey Bay trip. So we are out with Harvey Bay. We are out with Tasman Venture today, and instead of a bus, we have switched out to a boat. I really like the idea of this tour because it's called like the remote kgari / Fraser experience. So we're going to be doing lots of fun water activities, and we've already seen a few whales and dolphins this morning. So we are out on this big old boat today. I think there's like maybe 30 people. There's definitely less people than there was on the tour yesterday. So we're just waiting to get taken over to the main part of the island. So this is a cool tour to do because we're doing different things to like the main places that you'd see on kgari, such as the remote side. This is the Remote Fraser Island Experience Tour, which costs $215. This includes transfers from Hervey Bay, food, and all your activities. So yesterday we spent most of the day on the east coast of the island. When I was doing my research, this tour popped up and it seemed the only one that goes over to the west side. Within the first hour, we had already seen so many whales breach as they migrate through this region during winter. The first activity of the day was something I've never tried before: tubing. Okay, first activity of this tour, tubing. I've never actually done this, so gonna have to hold on a little bit. Are you ready? Yeah. This was probably the highlight of my whole trip. It was hilarious, but tubing is not for the faint-hearted. Oh, fuck it. Welcome back. Thank you. That was actually mental. Oh my god. Okay. I don't know how much of that I caught on the camera because I was like holding on, but my hands actually hurt because it was just so crazy, but so much fun. I was laughing my head off. The next activity after the mental tubing is kayaking, and it's so peaceful. Bit smelly, but we love to kayak on this channel. Nice and active activity. Okay, really rate this activity, but my life jacket smells like BO. So all this water in this river slash stream slash creek, I don't know, it's all fresh water and it's giving me like Everglade vibes. If you've ever been to Florida, it's what I imagine it to be like, but I imagine there to be some naughty crocodiles sat on the back. This tour felt a lot more laid back, and I liked that we spent the whole day outside with the option to do both chill and more exciting activities. Oh my God. You know, compared to yesterday where we spent a lot of time inside a bus. They also gave plenty of refreshments throughout the day, such as tea, coffee, and we even had lunch whilst whale watching. So we just had the most amazing lunch. So I didn't expect to see as many whales in today's tour as we have. I was literally just casually eating my salad and there were so many whales breaching. Like there was a few that were just following our boat. So I'm feeling pretty happy about that. And the weather, perfect. We are just going to do a spot of snorkeling, and let me just tell you, this is a beautiful snorkeling spot. Look at this. Part of the tour includes snorkeling where you can see fish and turtles. Unfortunately, my snorkel was cut short due to some technical issues. Okay, that was a really beautiful snorkel, but I'm so bad at snorkeling. It always goes straight up my nose, into my eyes because of my beard, but it's still a really beautiful, like, look at this is amazing. Also, I got a new iPhone underwater housing and it flooded. I was like, underwater, I was like, there is definitely water in here. So kind of ruined it a little bit. Let's have a look. There is not meant to be water in this. So I kind of freaked out and just jumped out, made sure my iPhone is okay. So on to the last part of this tour, which is going up a sand dune, which, I got a shell on my foot, ow. So we're gonna go up the sand dune right here. It is pretty much vertical, but hopefully we can get some nice views of the island and then we can send the drone up. We finished the day off at a sand dune and had a walk along the beach. All in all, great weather, great tour, and beautiful day. Now, let's revisit Dane back in 2020. Please know, I look totally different. This was my first time in Australia and my first time backpacking the East Coast. I had an amazing time. And if you're 18 to 35, I would highly recommend these tours. Usually these tours depart from Rainbow Beach and Noosa. The 3-day, 2-night tag-along tour with Palace set me back around $550. I would highly recommend this tour if you're a solo traveler, if you're looking for adventures, if you're happy camping and cooking and sorting all that out. And if you want to experience driving on island, this is a great way of doing that. So how it works is we had 3 cars in total. There was 8 seats in each car, and you take it in turns to drive on the island. Now, the great thing about this tour is you can fully immerse yourself being on kgari. You also get to make friends, party a little bit, and see more of the island. Because you're on the island for 3 days, you can drive all the way up to the north of 75 Mile Beach and check out Indian Head and Champagne Pools. These are 2 places that we didn't get to see on the day tours because the island is so big that it's just too far to drive. Overall, I loved this experience and I probably would do this tour again. So you've got the kgari Explorer day tour, the remote Fraser Island experience, and you've got the tag-along tour. There is also the option to bring your own 4x4 if you have it and if you're confident on driving on sand. And the other option is renting a 4x4 self-drive. Now, because there was only 2 of us, this was a very expensive option. If there was a group of like maybe 5 or 6 people, this would have been very affordable. We probably could have camped or stayed in one of the accommodations on the island. The kgari Day Explorer Tour. The pros of this tour are that you see all the main points such as the Mahino shipwreck, you go to Eli Creek, and you just get like a full experience of driving on the beach without having to do any driving. So that could be a pro or a con. Like, some people just want to go on a tour and see all the main spots. They don't want to have any hassle of driving. So this would be a great option for a family, couple, or even a young traveler. If you're just maybe got limited time, this is a great option to see all the main hotspots. The disadvantages of doing this tour is I felt like it was a pricier option, like it was $250, $260. And I feel like we were just spending a lot of time in the bus. So it was very like limited time. You would like go there for say like half an hour or 10 minutes. So me as a photographer, I like to have more time and more freedom. I think this tour was great. I didn't have an awful day, but I also didn't enjoy it as much as the other experiences. I probably wouldn't do this again. The second tour, I would highly recommend this tour. If you're looking for something a little different, if you like being out on boats all day, you like to interact with wildlife. Obviously you saw in the video, we saw so many whales. So I felt like this tour was, firstly, it was affordable. It was very fun. We got to see parts of Fraser Island that perhaps you wouldn't see on any of the other mainland tours. The disadvantages of this tour is that you don't see the main hotspots. So perhaps if you only had like 1 day to spend on Fraser Island and you wanted to see like the shipwreck and all the other stuff, this might not be for you. One of my favorite things about this tour is that I felt like we had a lot of freedom. You know, if we wanted to go tubing, we could go tubing. It was like in between a relaxed, adventurous and exciting day. And we obviously could move around the boat more freely. We had more space. And I just liked being outside all day. Now the tag-along tour, obviously this one is more expensive, but you are there for 3 full days. And if I remember correctly, all the meals, activities, and camping, everything was included in that price. So you would also save on accommodation. This is also a very great option if you're a solo traveler, if you're a young person, maybe the ages of 18 to 35. If you're looking to make friends, party a bit, get to know people, this tour felt more intimate and you really got to know people on the tour. I remember traveling down the East Coast with people that I met on my Fraser Island tour, which was really nice. And a big advantage is you get to experience driving on the island. This for me was one of my favorite experiences, just the feeling of driving on the sand, the waves smashing up against the car. It was the ultimate adventure. And it's something that I think I missed on this past trip that I just went on. I would love to go back and experience maybe a self-drive or even going on the tag-along tours because it was just so much fun. The only disadvantage to this tour that I can think of is you are camping, you are there for 3 days. They have limited facilities and cell phone reception if you are looking to still keep in contact with the outside world. So maybe this wouldn't be an option for you. This tour also has to work with your schedule because they only depart on certain days. For instance, I would have fully done the tag-along tour again. We arrived on the Wednesday. The tours only departed on like a Tuesday, Friday, or a Saturday. Therefore, that did not work in our schedule. The food on all the tours was very average. It was a bit meh. Like, I didn't hate it, but I also didn't love it. I did enjoy that on the boat tour, we had free complimentary tea and coffee throughout the day. So that was just a nice little touch. So I would say if you are a young person looking for an adventure and time and money isn't an issue, do the tag-along tour. If you're looking for something a bit different and you're not really bothered about seeing the main sites, do the remote Fraser Island experience. And if you're not wanting any responsibility and if you just want to be taken to each of the hotspots on the island and you're on a budget and time constraint, pick the first tour. And if budget isn't an option and you're a confident driver, take your own 4x4 and do a self-drive. I think that would be an amazing experience. That brings us to the end of the video. I really hope you have found it useful. I hope it maybe inspires a trip to Fraser Island, because you just have to go. Honestly, it's one of the top places to see, especially if you're doing the East Coast. Do not skip Fraser Island. I personally enjoyed it more than Whitsundays and other things that I did on the East Coast. I would love to know in the comments down below, which tour would you do? A big thank you as well to Safetywing for partnering with me on this video and allowing me to continue showing you guys cool adventures like this. So thank you again for watching this video. Make sure you hit subscribe if you want to see more. And until next time, take care and peace out.